following podcast is the audio portion of an audio-video podcast. The video portion was never recorded. Thanks for listening.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Johnny, and with me I've got DJD and Farmer and Craig.
How's it going, everybody?
David is deafened and muted right now.
I guess he was not ready for this.
Howdy.
Oh, there
You know
it
what?
is.
We don't have a visual bit anymore, but we do have a new bit, which is I feel it's important to bring up that they have not announced the Steam Machine price yet in 2026.
This is true.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is very true fact. Very true fact.
The Google AI estimates that it will be roughly between $700 to over $950. So there you go. But either way,
I don't know. It's kind of like waiting. At this point, it's like I don't know. Is the hype going down? I mean, it's like almost water on the hype a little bit at this point.
I feel like it totally is. Like, is there any? I feel like, am I the only one who cares? Am I the only one who's checking?
Yeah. Well, and even you are kind of like, you know, starting to get uninterested because of the delay.
I mean, it's kind of like when a game is announced like 2 to 3 to 5 years before it comes out or whatever.
It's like it's hard to be 13 years before it comes out. How about that?
When it'll be out. Yeah.
How about something like
that? That too.
Yeah.
Shout out Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that, D. The hypes, I mean, 5 years, 5+ years on a game. Don't announce it, please. Just don't. But
well, like there was a game, I forget which one it was.
You know,
I actually forget which game it was, but there was a game in the PlayStation Showcase last week that like looked really cool, but like they were like 2027, and I'm like, okay, I don't care. Like, tell me when it's closer, you know.
But that's funny because 2027 is only 2 years from now. It is currently 2026.
Yeah, it's not that far away, but like I feel like I mean I just can't. I just don't have the attention span for that far out right now.
I mean, which is very valid. I mean, it does feel far. And the other thing, so Steam Machine price, you're going to hear it here, guys. When they announce a price, you will hear it here. And as much as I want to complain about it, I'm pretty keen on getting one as a non-PC owner. I'm pretty keen on it. I think it would be equivalent to me getting a PC because I'll use it like that too, right? Like I plan on it being here on my desk. I'm excited.
It would be an additive thing, so it makes sense for you, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that day.
What dog runs on Linux?
You know, Johnny's like, it finally happened. It's finally here.
Yeah. That's it. That's gonna be the title of the episode.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will be.
And the other thing I wanted to bring up is last week we told everyone to play Byeguard, and I had a very difficult conversation with my son who likes Byeguard, where I kind of had to explain to him that like, hey, like there is a chance Byeguard may not be sticking around.
Right.
Yeah.
Which he got super bummed about. He got super bummed about it, and he's asking why that kind of stuff happens, and like explaining to him, you know. Which there's an interesting story here. So I was teaching one of my junior high classes, and I had a student come who I say junior high, but I think he's in his first year of high school here in Japan, and he plays Apex. So I asked him, "Oh, have you tried Byeguard?" And he was like, "Nah." And I was like, "Oh, why not?" And he's like, "Oh, like it's not good. I've heard it's not good." And I was like, "Oh, really? But like, why don't you try it and see?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to." I'm like, "It's free." He's like, "No, I don't really want to." And he was like, "Oh, like I watched a YouTuber play it, and he said he didn't like it, so I don't want to play it." And then I was like, "Okay, but like, what if I told you?" So like, Japanese people like are super proud about their culture and their stuff, right? And I'm like, what if I told you I saw a YouTuber eat a piece of sushi, and they didn't like it? And because of that, I won't try sushi. Like for myself.
Which does happen, actually. Americans are specifically like very susceptible to this.
Well, it happens, but it like to a Japanese person, it's like, well, that's stupid. Like you shouldn't just like listen to what other people say. You should try it for yourself because actually it's really good. And he was kind of getting it. And I was just like, bro, like, and I like explained to him like the whole Game Awards fiasco and all of that and like how Byeguard kind of came out with people already being negative about it. And I am 100% sure he has not downloaded the game or tried it, but we had a good conversation about being a sheep and just kind of going along with what people say and like that kind of a culture. And like, I can understand with Anthem, the game wasn't free, right? I can kind of understand that in the end of being like, people should not buy this game. But this Byeguard is a free game.
Right.
You know, like it does not hurt to download it and try it out and like form an opinion on it. And it's a big bummer that they have laid off a bunch of people just a couple weeks after it's come out.
Most of their staff. Yeah.
Right. And especially after, like these, anybody who plays Fortnite or Apex, they give those a chance, but they're just like so locked into those games, it's just like, oh, you're not going to try anything new.
Well, and it's also, I don't know, there's this whole conversation to be had too about like the fact that this was essentially an indie dev, like trying something new, trying something different. And now a lot of their staff now probably has to go back to like, like corporate, like group studios, like, I mean, like, and not be part, or even if they are lucky enough to remain in the industry, I mean,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate that there's so much conversation. And like now I'm going to incorporate movies to it too. But it's like, oh, we want to support like unique new IPs. We want new games. We don't want just sequels. We want indie stuff. We want this. We want this. And then like when the stuff actually comes out, people don't support it. You guys know what? I watched a movie yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Raya and the Last Dragon.
Okay.
Which
good movie. I like
is one of my favorite like Disney movies. It's great. And one of our friends were and she hadn't seen it. And like, sure, it came out during the COVID era. So like that already was bad for it. But I was like, what's really annoying is people are like, oh, we want original stories. We don't want just want sequels anymore. We want this. We want this. And it's like, well, here's an original story, right? All of that stuff. It's beautiful. It's great. Oh, people didn't support it. But then like Zootopia 2 is going to break records. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
and that's the era we're in.
Is that out too?
And you say what you will, and people they'll say all what they want about having new IPs all day long, but it's what they support and what they put their money towards, and that's again why like Hollywood and all these other industries have shifted to that to doing sequels and things like that because it's a shoe-in. It's a shoe-in to make money.
And even like, just in the title, Zootopia 2, right? It's not its own thing. It is completely reliant on the brand recognition of the thing before it, right? Hey, that thing? We have it again.
Well, and also the fact that you've already experienced this. You already know what this universe contains. So it's not like you don't have to test the waters. You know what to expect completely for the most part. So you're going to get into a universe that you love. And I think partially we might have Marvel's to blame for this, right? Marvel cultivating that whole continued universe thing, which is great. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it also is like, okay, continuation, continuity, sequels. No new IPs as much. What do you want?
Right.
What do you want?
Right. Well, and it's just super frustrating. It's super frustrating. I really love this game. Well, and then even now, guess what? I'm part of the problem. Because I see they're not doing well, what am I doing? Well, I'm not playing it as much. Why am I not playing it as much? Because I don't want to get too attached, right? The first battle pass, they already released their first new character. They already released another battle pass, right? Or they have a battle pass out that was free. But it's like, well, I don't want to buy skins in the game. I was thinking about buying skins, but now I don't want to buy skins. Well, why? Because I don't want to spend the money and for the game to shut down,
Yeah. Which is
so, and also, they already said 90% of their staff is gone, and that's a little worrisome,
Right. And so it becomes a selling prophecy. Well, like, it looks like it's a sinking ship. Nobody wants to be on a sinking ship, you know? And it's just a huge bummer. And it's also a huge bummer to have to explain that to a 12-year-old who loves the game.
Right.
You know?
Well, and all of this kind of reminds me of like things like there's a movie that came out that starred like Brad Pitt and George Clooney, right? Like I'm sure they paid a ton of money to get those two on like the movie, right? Called Wolves, which is a really cool movie. But that movie, to get made, had to be funded, right? And so it exclusively appeared on Apple TV, right? On Apple TV Plus or whatever. And so, like, I mean, like, naturally, it's going to get way lower viewership and everything. And so, like, who knows if there will be a sequel? Probably not. I'm sure that movie, like, was expensive as anything to make, just considering its headliners. And, like, I mean, like, it created a really cool world. But, like, I mean, like, who would, like, bother following that up if, like, it ends up, like, not getting, like, to be widespread and distributed, you know? But, like, I mean, we'll definitely get another Oceans movie because, like, that was made by a huge studio or whatever that, like, put it everywhere because they could afford to and everything. And, like, even though that's a franchise that doesn't really need, like, another sequel. I mean, I would love another sequel because I love that franchise. But at the same time, like, I mean, like, there could be something brand new created, you know? I mean, like, yeah. Well, I mean, like, Wolves is something brand new that created, like, a new world or whatever that would have been really cool to explore. But, like, you know, or like also Immortals of Avium was a fantastic like EA game that came out and nobody played it. And like no, but to be fair, part of that was the marketing, but also part of that too was like the reviews, the fact that it was like an unknown quantity, the fact that it was a new IP that nobody knew what to do with and everything. And it was a great game, a solid like 8 out of 10 game, and just like nobody played it. It's like, okay, all right.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, I don't want to get into this defense of like that Byeguard's a great game or whatever, because it's like there's no perfect game, right? Sure. Like, games have their issues, so it's not about defending something that like deserves criticism, right? Like, oh well, what about this? What about this? It's about like giving something a fair chance, right?
Or like okay, even something that people enjoy, like getting like essentially kind of killed out of the gate. Like one of the people who like worked on Byeguard even wrote like a long post like basically saying like, yeah, like the internet had already decided this game was a failure before it even came out. And that's kind of true.
100%. I mean, like 100%. Yeah. And I hate that. Yeah. And I hate like the investment in the failure of it. Again, I mean, it's Anthem all over again. I wonder how much of that is that for me too. Of it's like really loving this game that we played together, and it just not, and people just deciding that it sucked. Like arbitrarily deciding that it sucked, right? It's like, was it perfect? Of course not. It could have used whatever. But then like there are other games that are just as bad or like just like the, you know, also having issues that people love and keep going back to no matter what. And like, you know, I'm looking at Destiny over here. You know, I'm looking at, you know, honestly, you know, Fortnite too. Right? Sure. Like, again, like, how can people be like, oh, like, Byeguard, it doesn't do anything new? How can you say that if you have played Fortnite? You know?
Right.
Like, when have they done
just
anything?
Not giving it a chance at all, you know? Like, that's a thing. Like, if every gamer had just given it a chance, that would have just helped it overall anyways. But, again, with not even going to give it a chance, then, you know, there's only a few that are going to even install it at that point.
Well, especially with like such a low barrier to entry. Like one of the critiques that I saw was like, oh, well, it didn't make its microtransaction money back. It's like, it's been out for like 2 weeks. Like how on earth is it supposed to make its like it's barely even had any microtransactions yet, you know? I mean, like this isn't like Anthem, which ran like a threadbare store for like a year, you know? I mean, like,
right.
No, 100%. Well, that, and yeah, it hasn't been out long, and like already with this kind of news, it's like dead in the water, right? Who's gonna want to install it? Who's gonna want to play? Like, I mean, I know I'm right there, right? Like, I don't want to start to like this game that is not going to do well, or that I know isn't going to be supported. I hate to say that,
and that's the fear too, right? Because we like it enough. We've all played it. We like it enough that we could sink some time into it, but we're afraid, you know, the inevitable, if it does happen, that if we do sink money into it or time, then the server shut down. Then we don't want the pain. Why invest if that's going to be yanked out from under us?
Right.
That would be rough. And we've all had it. We've all had a game that we really enjoyed all of a sudden get sunset, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yeah, and it's just a big bummer. And then I get that, technically we haven't paid anything for this game, so sure, but man, it's hard. It's hard going through it.
I'm thinking about we just need to support.
Well, it's like
the 10% that's still running the ship. I don't know. I'm almost feeling it. I'm feeling convicted.
It's funny because I'm not. I'm feeling like, oh man, I bought, not to get too preachy sounding, but I bought Evolve at full price. You guys convinced me to buy Evolve at full
what
price.
game? What game?
And I regret that. I regret it. I wish I hadn't done
Evolve. The new Evolve will be 4-loop, probably.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Why can't we decide that game, the new Evolve game, is dead before it comes out? Jeez.
I mean, it probably is, but we'll see.
The fun thing about these games that we can, we get to trick each other into buying that are dead. I was thinking about SSX that
oh my god,
snowboarding game that I tricked. I mean, it wasn't intentional, but I was like, "Hey, this is a great game. We're gonna do co-op, and it's single player. It's so good." And then we had, it's like these every so often we get these games that we think is gonna be great, and then they just bomb.
David with IDARB just constantly being like, "IDARB's gonna get that update, guys.
It's gonna get that update.
It's gonna get it.
Fingers crossed and everything. Yeah, no.
One of these days."
Well, that, and I mean, it's also just hard when you have a game like this that it also just can't exist single player, right?
Sure. Yes.
You can play Halo campaigns if they shut down the multiplayer, right? And you can still enjoy the campain and play like a local co-op or something. But
you can even play local multiplayer, on those maps outside of having the internet. But this game has to have servers,
or
these
also
it has to have other people to play with.
Can't exist without it.
Yeah,
and it's not even for my son. It's not even that they're going to shut down the servers, but how long is he going to be able to find matches?
Right. Yeah, true. Yeah, especially in lower populated markets for that particular kind of game or whatever.
Yeah, how long is it going to be? Well, that he can keep finding matches and all that stuff. Hey bud, you need to. It sounds bad. You need to start to emotionally distance yourself now from the game because it's just not going to do so well, and it's a huge bummer. And I just want to say that thanks, Geoff Keighley. Geoff Keighley killed the game. I mean, and you guys heard me say it here before. I've always hated him. Here at a Navcast, we are anti Geoff Keighley.
They chose,
and now he killed this
granted,
game.
I'm not anti Geoff Keighley. Hi, Jeff. I love you.
We are anti Geoff Keighley.
Johnny is anti.
Your little Navcast awards is just Geoff Keighley. It's like a little statue of Geoff Keighley with X's for his eyes instead of some other trophy.
Jeff, you're a very hardworking guy, and I love your we don't
like you.
Trailers.
Not only do we not like your stupid award show, you killed Byeguard.
Your last awards show was actually pretty good overall. That was actually a pretty good award show.
Bringing in the
except for the
Geoff Keighley just wishes he was Sid Meier, right? He just wishes Meier's Civilization because it's always Geoff Keighley's video game awards or whatever. Listen, you're Sid Meier if you bought him on Temu. Okay, no.
How annoyed would you be if you were Peter Molyneux and every single year you promised Fable would be this incredible thing, and then the new reboot of Fable looks to be everything he ever promised, and you no longer work for Lionhead because Lionhead got shut down. But I mean, that would be pretty frustrating.
Somebody took his notes, pretty much. Yeah, that's my idea. No,
but we still don't like you, Geoff Keighley. We still don't like
Geoff Keighley. I like you. I think you're great.
This is great.
I hope that your Summer Game Fest is good. I do. Fingers crossed. Looking forward to it. My good friend Geoff. I think
Jeff, if you want to come on this podcast and defend yourself and defend your terrible plan and your terrible ideas, you can go ahead and get on that. You can send an email to djd@gmail.com and we can get you over here because I would love to tell you to your face
my email address.
how
it's like that's going to nowhere.
Like
I do think I have djd@hotmail.com now. Or anafsir@gmail.com actually is one of our email addresses.
There you go.
Yeah. I think I don't think that Geoff can be solely blamed for this. I don't. I think that part of the problem also is that they had no real marketing strategy. Because they were planning on shadow dropping it.
Victim blame on this podcast right now.
They did say
that's
yes.
Not what we're going to do.
It was their choice to say yes.
Okay.
I mean, if they were going to have all of a sudden they got this slot going for the Game Awards, right? They've got to do something different, and I think that's
they have to adapt a little bit. Yeah,
but they didn't, and here we are. And enjoy the game as much as you can. Maybe you can help save it. Who knows?
It's like when I yelled at
this podcast. Go ahead and send Geoff Keighley an email.
Oh my gosh!
And tell him how mad you are.
No, don't. Please don't. We don't harass people.
We don't need to promote anymore.
And tell them that DJD sent you.
We don't brigade people. We don't harass people. That's not an FCR. Don't do it.
Yep.
We totally do that.
You could totally ask him if he wants to be on the podcast, though, to confront Johnny.
Okay. We don't have to harass him. Just message him and tell him he sucks. That's not harassing.
No, that's literally harassing.
I said not in a specific way. Just message him and be like, you suck.
No. He gets enough of that.
Do it. He gets enough of it. Apparently not enough. Let me tell you. Apparently not enough.
He gets way too much hate.
I mean,
he gets way too much hate, and guess what? The Game Awards still happen. Why is that? Why isn't he taking
the Game Awards was good?
The Game Awards.
Oh my god!
Why doesn't he take his? Why does his face have to be up there? I don't even want to see it.
He wants to have a legacy.
I don't even want to see it.
You hear all the negative comments, but there's plenty of positive things that people don't hear. So, we have to enjoy. Look to the good. Look to the good.
And in looking to the good, you won't see Geoff Keighley over there. Am I right?
My gosh.
Hey.
This is like a clanging cymbal at this. We're just coming back.
I'm looking at the good right now, and I don't see Geoff anywhere.
My gosh.
It's crazy. Feel free to hit us up, Geoff, and get on this podcast and defend yourself. If Geoff was on this podcast, I would be so nice. I'd be like, I don't know that I said that. What? Me? No.
We would totally bring in clips you could prove that. From this podcast.
I don't think you could prove it.
I would literally do it and have just
and then I'll just be like,
whenever something comes
AI
up,
generated. That's AI generated. That's not me. I never said
that's out of context.
AI voice. That's out of context.
Oh wait, you hear that? That's a little higher pitched than my voice. Yeah, that's definitely
that's out of context. Also, the other thing I want to talk about is apparently everyone hates Discord and we have to leave. Are you guys aware of this?
Oh yes, I've heard of this.
The whole age verification thing coming up.
Yep. Yeah, we have to leave, you guys. It looks like we're Discord had a good run. But for some reason, am I the only one that is not really stressed out about showing my government ID at stuff?
I mean, I don't think I don't love the idea of especially
all of that information's out there.
Sure, but it's not combined, really. Discord doesn't necessarily know what I look like. And if I was using a pseudonym or something and I was protective about my private information online.
But you've turned on a camera.
I mean, sure, but theoretically they don't record that. Maybe they do, but theoretically they don't. And but their defense also, I feel has been pretty reasonable, where it's they use third-party software to age verify. They don't keep that information. The third-party software is apparently an accredited known quantity that automatically deletes after it tests and stuff. But Discord also did have a data breach. 2 months ago, something like that, where like a bunch of like information got like breached. So I I just don't like the fear mongering about everything nowadays. That's probably my biggest problem.
But also, I think I did this kind of unknowingly, where I like turned on my camera and it looked at me and it decided that I was not a child.
Well, and also apparently that like most people won't even get that. Apparently, like some people will, but most people won't.
Yeah,
well, I did that because I
like
didn't use
that.
my ID.
Oh.
I didn't use my ID. It was like you can either show your government
Well,
ID
no,
or
like
you can turn on your camera.
It won't even
and,
ask
like,
for
it can look
ID
at you.
sometimes too. Yeah. Like it won't ask for ID or any kind of age verification for most users is what Discord said.
I haven't got anything like that yet.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But
I don't know what
I'm sure
most means in that context, but yeah.
They I don't know, they just look at me and I don't know. It's like you're in.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Well, like it's interesting to me. I understand like privacy and people being that way, but like I also feel like it's kind of funny because it's like, do you really think that information's private? You know, like I don't know. Like I'm just like we're all out here with like Google accounts and Discord accounts and Apple accounts, and they're tracking location and all of this stuff and Snapchat and all.
Yeah,
all of
everybody's
stuff,
got their bank on their phone these days too. I mean, it's just like what are you talking about?
You know,
it's just
like face scanning to open stuff so you don't have to type in passwords. It's like it's just your government ID. Like I don't know.
I think that there is some worry too nowadays with like how much the government literally just this like last week said that they've like sent out a bunch of requests to various social media sites to like get accounts and like information based on like people's like speech. So I mean like that's kind of concerning, but that's also nothing to necessarily do with like Discord like age verifying. That's the government kind of overreaching in that regard, you know? I mean, like, yeah. So I mean,
I mean,
like,
there are some things that you have to, especially for like having kids. I mean, there are some things you could be worried about on Discord, and I could see where they're trying to push to make sure that not just anybody can get to some of these channels and whatnot, and just be able to access anything.
And the fact is that there has been like probably like a higher and higher like usage of like Discord and various other social media things to like do like illicit behavior as time has gone
like
on.
Almost like
and
like I mean like workarounds and stuff.
Yeah. And so like in order to limit their liability and try to like curb that like illicit behavior, like they probably need to take some steps that like it's kind of almost like there's that whole in Marvel's Civil War, right? There's that whole argument of like safety versus like freedom, right? Essentially, security versus freedom. And like the truth is that there's a balance to be struck between the two, right? Like complete freedom almost always means that people like take advantage of it. Complete security means like essentially like, oppression, So I mean like there needs to be like some kind of balance struck between, and that balance is kind of a little bit like subjective or whatever. But I think that there always needs to be like some kind of give and take and some understanding of like, yeah, there needs to be some sacrifices in what you would consider freedom to like be somewhat safer, and like what's reasonable and what's not. That's a kind of a different discussion, you kind of have to cross that bridge after you admit that there needs to be some kind of balance struck first.
Well, and honestly, I'm surprised that this hasn't happened sooner because, everywhere else, every site or whatever you go to, it's like you have to have some kind of like ID, like whether it's PIN or it's your like, thumbprint.
Here's the thing too.
Yeah.
Is I would much rather have these private companies put in measures that require them to like that require users to like abide by those measures than have the government do it when it comes down to it. And the government would have to do it if the private companies weren't willing to at some point, if things got bad enough. And so, I mean, like when it comes down to it, like, even if that means that like there's a chance that the government could then like requisition those records, that's still an extra step. That's like a step beyond like, this like government body, like, making you use One ID and tracking your like online presence everywhere and seeing everything that you say or do, like no matter where you are, as opposed to like 75, 100 different companies like having some identification like metrics on you that like
Right.
they
Yeah, the
needed to
government.
like make sure that you're like legal age and everything, I mean like that.
Yeah, the
like,
government has plenty enough to
yeah.
do instead of getting their hands on everything else. I mean, this way, like you said, having these individual companies doing it, I mean, it still maintains a little bit more of that freedom, in my opinion, like freedom of
Right.
speech in a way,
Yeah.
So that
Sure. Yeah.
they can still, in what they created with their app or whatever, they're still able to have the spirit of it, still like lead it in that direction, and then still have some standards that you have to follow. So I mean, I definitely do. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd
Right.
rather have like a bunch of different companies having a little bit of information about me than like one central entity, no matter who it is, having all the information about me and like me needing to like be approved or like be like tracked everywhere by that one entity. Like, no, thank you. Like, I'm not a privacy like super guy, like heavy guy. Like, I don't like my username is literally my initials, like I'm pretty searchable. Like I don't really have any kind of like,
And Johnny can track you down anytime
all
he
right.
wants.
Yeah. So like it doesn't really bother me to the extent that it does other people. But at the same time, like I mean, like it is a little bit like weird to like think of like, everything you do being tracked by one entity as opposed to having a little bit of information about you like being held by all these different places. Like I think I'd much rather the latter, But
Yeah, if you have a bunch of different places, they can, in a way, keep each other accountable, right? It's like this over here, this over there, but never in one spot. You don't want a
sure.
hub.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know. I've always felt that way myself. Like I don't mind it having here and there and over there, but I don't want it all like consolidated in one database or something like that. Which it could very well be, anyways. But who knows?
Right. That's just like Google's server farm where they got all of that information
Right.
on you.
Yeah.
I'm more laughing,
It's
but like
in the
really, right?
ocean
Like
somewhere. Yeah, all our
that's kind
information
of
in the ocean
like
floor.
my feeling about it. Like a lot of this information's out there and that kind of stuff. I mean, I just like Googling a friend's name was able to see that this friend bought a house in like a specific city, like a suburb of Chicago, and like the address was there and all of that stuff. Like, and that's just Googling their name,
Sure. Yeah.
you know?
But I think
Like,
that's like still like, even though that is like kind of a little bit like, like, okay, that's kind of crazy. That's also like a few steps away from like, okay, but you also see like every single post they made across social media and every single post they
well,
liked across social media and like,
and it's hard
like
because again,
what they
my social
bought
media
like
is
at the
all my
grocery
name
store
too,
last week.
right?
And,
So you can see
yeah.
everything I've posted across social media. You can see that. Sure, it's one step away from it, but then also like it's just age verification. Right,
Sure.
like
well, and that's
how
what it
many
comes down to
times?
is yeah.
How many times as an adult, like at a like whether you're doing a service or something, right? And you could say like, oh well, the thing is that we trust these places and we just don't trust Discord. Like the amount of times they want to be like, okay, can we see your driver? Like when you get like a cell phone, right, or you sign up for internet or something, and they want to see your driver's license, and then at least here in Japan, they want to make a copy of it. Right, we want to have a copy of your driver's license on file,
Right.
and like you can't say no. Right? If you say no, then they're like, okay, well then like we're not going to provide you internet. We're not going to provide you a cell phone. Kind of a deal. Like you'll have to go somewhere else. And I know that it's a different country, but it's just like, I don't know, in those situations nobody's like, I don't think I want to give you my driver's license.
Right. Or like even like buying alcohol, right? No matter where you go or whatever. Like I mean like, no one's like, "Oh, well like well, I just won't have alcohol then," I mean, like they almost always like go
weird.
home or whatever. Yeah, like I'm never going to drink again because you asked for my ID. It's like no, like.
And not to compare like a service like Discord to that, but like also like they are just companies, right? What makes Discord that different?
Well, and that's
than, like Verizon,
right?
Yeah. They're both just companies that are providing a service and like going to be collecting data on you.
Well, I think it's lost on a lot of people that Discord has come from a very small place to a very broad place. At this point,
sure.
It may have started for gamers, but it's like used just about everywhere now.
Yep. Yeah. It's become mainstream for sure. In a lot of ways, at least. Maybe not necessarily like fully to like the non-internet culture, but internet culture pretty much like thrives on
Right.
Discord now.
For sure. Yeah.
It's the new Skype, essentially.
Right.
Man,
No, 100%.
it would suck to like have worked on Skype. I would be so upset.
Well, and I just find it interesting. Like, and I can understand people will say this and this and this about their privacy or about this. And it's interesting, like, because I guess I get this way too, where like people personally draw the lines,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Of like, okay, like this is enough. Like, one of the ones for me that people are surprised with is that like I don't use Google Maps. I use Apple Maps because at one point I just was like, you know what? Like, I just am tired of, I know that Google is tracking me even when I'm not using the app, right? I know that. And I know that they're storing that data. And I think at one point one of the things that spurred me to do that was it was like recommending some like, oh, based on like your movement patterns, do you want directions to here? Or like the ETA from here to here is going to take this long because I like do that on a weekly basis kind of a deal, you know? And it was just like, yeah, I don't want this anymore. Like, I don't want that. And people are like, oh, so like you're just okay with Apple having that information? I'm like, well, I mean, they already do because I'm like using their phones and their services and stuff. So
Right.
like, sure.
But also, like, I mean, there's a reason that I still use Hotmail, right? There's a reason that I still use Apple
Right.
products as opposed to like Google, is that there is a sense of security where, like, I mean, like, the way that they handle security is a little bit different. And, like, they, because of it, usually don't get, like, they're not as at risk. Right. And
Right.
like that can cut both ways. Like, I think, like, again, like, I think part of the reason people are a little bit wary of Discord right now is because they just recently had a data breach. But theoretically, also, like, they would have taken measures to like prevent that and like, you know, be safer in the future. But also, like, I mean, like, yeah, like it is interesting the subjectivity people have with like certain companies and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, I think everybody has to kind of draw that line. I mean, for me, it's like Google watches me and just knows like this guy goes nowhere. He's just like, this is the most boring data that we can retrieve.
Well, like, I guess specifically with Discord, like the thing that surprises me again is like, oh, well, like, I mean, if you're signed into their service, right? Like you're like in a voice chat or something, like they have like IP addresses and stuff like, you know, oh, if you've ever been in a voice chat and turn on your camera, like they have your picture. You know what I mean? Like there's just all of that kind of stuff. Whether or not they say, like, on one hand, you could be like, well, we don't know that they saved that. But I'm kind of like, yeah, but if you're going to the point to be like, we don't trust them with the data, like you already are trusting them with data, right?
Yep. No, that's
You've
true.
already been
That's very valid. Yeah. Yeah.
trusting them with all of this kind of a thing, you know? And so like it's a really weird arbitrary line of like your literal government ID is like that's it. Like out of everything they've asked you for, that's the one that you're hung up on, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
like, I was at a liquor store like not too long ago, and like the customer in front of me, like, made a huge deal about them scanning his ID because he's like, "Oh, well, you're saving every single piece of information on my ID about me, like there." And it's like, no, it probably doesn't. It probably just enters the like birth date. Like, I like that's probably what it does. I don't know for sure, but I mean that would be my assumption. But I mean, like, also there has to be some kind of measure of trust there, or you just have to deal with like not using the thing. You know,
well, it's like you're
I mean,
scanning every possible thing about me and my ID and stuff, like, oh, da da da. But then it's also like, bro, like, are you really worried about it?
right? Yeah.
I'm sorry to be one of those people.
At
I'm
one
sorry to be one of
point,
those people. But like, are you
like
really worried about that?
there's so many people out there. At what point is like the information just so much information that nobody's gonna really even get to it ever, you know, and care.
Well, and like, are you really going to be like that so upset about a liquor store having your ID when like your local pharmacy has like literally a list of your health conditions? Like, I mean, like,
but they're helping me.
Like,
they're helping me.
I mean,
right?
Theoretically,
Well,
you know, I mean, like depending on how.
But
you view
that's the
alcohol,
mentality
you know?
of it. Like when you're going to a place that you're drinking, it's different than when you're like, I need help. I will give you whatever and however to get it and get help as quick as I can. And that's that. I mean, it's dire need at some point, you know. When you're up against the wall and you have, you know, something that's bothering you.
Well,
or
yeah,
reasons,
but
you
I would
will
say that
give up your left hand or right
I would
hand.
say the proportionality of the information that you give is what kind of like measures that though too. I mean, like your local pharmacy is probably just as likely to get hacked as your liquor store or whatever.
Well,
And
probably more so, honestly.
yeah. And but when it comes down to it, you give them more information that you're willing to give your local liquor store because of that. Because they also are helping you or whatever, providing medical care or
and
whatever.
that mentality of hospitality in a way is like they're helping me. I can trust them because they're going out of their way to help me, even though they're charging me an arm and a leg to help me. And maybe it won't even actually help me, but there's still sense they're out to help people, not, just whatever.
I think part of it too is that we just watch too much TV when it comes down to it.
I think people just don't think that the pharmacy is going to get hacked, right? That's it. They just don't think that the pharmacy is going to lose that information. Like as soon as it happens one time, then people are going to be like, "Oh, wait a minute," and it's like on the news.
Sure. Yeah,
they're going to be like, Like I remember not really thinking much about using my debit card at a Target until they started getting hacked a lot, and then I was like, okay, maybe I don't want to use my debit card here.
Oh, well, and then there was but also we have such short memories sometimes too, or we view the value of a service more than the risk of it so often that we might complain about things, but ultimately still put up with them, scanning our IDs at the liquor store or whatever.
Sure,
or for instance, I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at the metrics of it, but there's a lot of people who were really worried about the fact that TikTok got hacked or whatever, and people's information got leaked, and then we're back on it literally the next week or whatever, as soon as it got reinstated or whatever.
They couldn't say no. They couldn't stay away.
Well, and it's just it's essentially the convenience or the things that we put up with, or the number of people who hate capitalism but still buy and sell. I mean, because
but are still buying stuff.
What else are you gonna do? I mean, yeah.
100%, dude. They're like, oh man, this is the worst, and they still buy the new stuff, and you're like, I mean,
the latest stuff, not even the stuff that they need either, but I mean, but what else are you gonna do? Not participate in society? I mean,
yes, there are people who do that. You can, I follow some people. Well, it's funny because even then the people you follow, right? I follow this woman and her family, and they have a homestead in Iowa, and they have this land that they bought. It's a co-op or whatever, right?
Sure.
And they grow as much of their own food and do everything as possible. They do all this
but they
stuff.
haven't gone all the way because they're
they're posting
them
on Instagram, right?
Yeah,
they're posting on Instagram.
They're connected to the grid still. I mean, if they're really going to go all the way, you can't be connected to the internet. As soon as you let go from the, you connect any of your devices, it's the end.
No, 100%. Well, I was gonna say it feels like it's them, but then also it's not totally, right? Because technically they did they are connected online, and so they're maybe making money that way or something
or it's almost like a charity that spends money to spread awareness of something that they're fundraising for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But also though, you know what? Anyone who's willing to sacrifice for what they believe in, I'll commend them on that. I mean, because that's not an easy thing to do, and not a lot of people are willing to do it when it comes down to it. Oh, a lot of people are just they might complain and gripe and constantly critique or be upset about things, but ultimately they aren't willing to sacrifice anything to change it.
Right.
And it's okay, all right. Well, I mean, what's the point then? Literally, you don't care enough to give anything to make a difference, even in your own life, let alone in a larger world or anything. Yeah. So those that are willing,
we do need to wrap.
I think that those who do sacrifice anything when it comes down to it, and are willing to forego convenience for the sake of principle. I mean, I'll give a little kudos to them.
I
Not that my
respect
kudos
that.
mean anything, but I do respect
those
it. Yeah,
those type of people are the frontiers of of certain things, for sure. You have to have those people to like navigate, new ways of thinking, I guess, in a way. Because if nobody's going to do it and everybody's going to stay in the same pattern and same mindset and way of thinking, then you're not going to have, new ideas. You're just going to have cookie cutter forms, we're all going to just think the same, be the same.
And then there will be no more indie games like Byeguard.
Well, I was going to say,
full circle.
On that note, if you want to have kudos from DJD and like sacrifice for something you believe in, why don't you go on Byeguard, all of our listeners, and buy a bunch of skins?
No.
And help out the people there. Why don't you go do that?
We dare you.
This would be funnier if we had like a affiliate code, and we're like, hey, use link code
use our
and
affiliate
nav
code and
when you do it.
This would be even funnier if we were sponsored by Ubisoft.
Yeah. We don't even have that though. But I agree, D. I think that, ideally, yeah, you would. It would be nice if people, I don't want to say put their money where their mouth is, because that's not always what sacrifice is. Or something you care about. But in our modern society, it often is.
Well, even living a lower standard of quality of life, I think is a sacrifice in today's day and age, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, again, saying something and actually backing it up. If you're gonna say it and complain about it, do something about it.
If you want to live a lower standard quality of life for your beliefs,
listen to our podcast.
Everyone, sell your gaming systems and only game on the Switch 2.
Oh my gosh.
Listen. And people are like, why don't you have all these other gaming systems? And you're like, because I'm living a lower standard quality of life, you guys.
Speaking of the Switch 2, I finally saw their direct on the 9th or whatever it was. I finally watched that this just a few days ago. And they are really trying to hit home the fact that we're a real console with real games. So,
what did they put on it? I was just like, what even happened for it? I don't even know.
What changed?
They advertised Resident Evil, the newest one. They advertised a bunch of AAA games. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and when on that vein, I mean, technically, all you need is your phone. I mean, Tomb Raider's on the phone now. So I mean, yeah, all you need now, if you want a lesser value of gaming, is just never play a console or a PC. Just game on your phone. Just game on your phone.
Play Mario Run.
Yeah, Mario Run.
Right.
Game.
Yeah. Did you guys see that Age of Empires is on the phone now?
Is it?
I did not see that. But
they made a phone app.
That's really kind of wild. Yeah.
So,
but also, it doesn't surprise me because
Microsoft
has those mobile developers now. So I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Everything here in 10, 15 years, maybe 20, it's just gonna be all on your phone.
Well, in 15 years, what I'll do is I'll stop having a game console and I'll just have my gaming phone and my regular phone. That's what it's going to turn into.
Yeah, it'll be
some people do that.
You can plug in your C port or whatever else is new for the ports, and then it'll plug into a bigger screen. And so you'll just have a bunch of docking stations around your house where you just just plug it in.
It's gonna Farmer. It's gonna be USD.
Oh my god.
USB-D, not right instead of USB.
Yeah,
A or B. Yeah, USB-D.
Yeah. I'll take USB-Z. I just just
skip ahead.
Do an Xbox,
No, but you know what? That's gonna be what they do to try and make it sound cool. We're like, this is USB Alpha.
Right.
You're like, oh my gosh, here we go.
Sure.
Anyway, guys, make sure you like and subscribe on all of the things, and we will catch you all next week. Bye. Get out of here, Craig.